Welcome everybody to Bases and Brews episode 28 uh, with Ben and Brandon. This is our weekly podcast where we talk baseball and beer, except this week we are talking football. Uh, we stream the show live on twitch.tv/Bases and Brews every Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come give us a follow, watch us live over there. If you can't watch us live for whatever reason, you can catch us every week on our YouTube channel or listen on podcast services. But if you do catch us live, you get our post show. But if you can't, search for Bases and Brews podcast on those platforms. Also, follow us on Twitter at Bases Brews to get some baseball news, some updates about the podcast, and what we're up to. And yeah, with that, how are you doing?
Um, I'm doing good. A little tired, but I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm not excited
I,
about my beer choice this week, but we're gonna.
not a good first sip.
No, not really.
Oof. Uh,
It's not bad. It's just not my take. You know what I mean? Like, there's a
I think
difference in my opinion from like when you taste something and you're like, oh, that's bad, but something where you're like, okay, I could see somebody liking that, but I just don't.
yeah, I think that's kind of how I'm feeling about mine too.
Like
It's a weird flavor,
uh, but I do have to
but
say I got this just because the bottle was kind of dope.
yeah,
It's one of the bigger bottles with the cork and everything. So, kind of, I kind of took the bait.
yeah. So what do you want to expand on that? How is or what are you drinking exactly?
So it is. I don't even know, and I would butcher this name. I'm not even kidding. Here, I'll get it. So,
Cuvée Spéciale Soleil
uh,
Rince Cochon.
it's a Belgian blonde ale.
I think Belgian's pretty. I think they speak French in Belgium, so I think I was going with the right pronunciations there. I took French in high school, like 15 years ago,
Yeah, it's
longer.
like I said, it's not bad. It's just
Yeah,
not my thing.
yeah.
But we're going
I
with it for the night.
what else can you do? Um, I saw this can on the shelf and was like, "That's cool as shit. I'm gonna get that one," and I might be regretting that also. But this is equal parts brewing Saharan Dust IPA. Okay, so can looks normal, kind of weird. It's like a flat black can or silver can with like a flat black sticker.
Uh huh.
But then as you turn it, you get this like blue metallic
Okay, that's kind of rad.
like wave. It's super like simplistic, but it looks really cool.
So what is it? It's an IPA.
It's an well, it says it's an IPA, but it does not taste hoppy. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. It kind of smells a little bit like paint, and it kind of has that taste too.
Oh,
Not tastes like paint. It tastes like the smell of paint. I don't know. That might be what paint tastes like. I don't know, but
uh,
it's not great.
look
I'll
like
say
we
that.
picked some bangers for the week. You
Yeah,
gotta love it.
I think
This might be the first week where we both just completely dislike what we got.
I think I have some beers left from the last couple weeks, and I might be not even drinking this and just drinking those instead.
See, at least I'll
Which
I'll at least drink
this is
mine.
like,
It may not be the greatest, but I picked it, so
it's not good.
I'll
I'm not
struggle bust
drinking
through
more
it.
of that. We're gonna drink something else today. What are we gonna drink in
I don't know. So what's on tap instead
update?
then?
Take two on the what I'm drinking tonight. I'm gonna drink what I drank last week, I think, which is the Voodoo Ranger
Oh,
V2K IPA. Um, This one I know I like. It's like Voodoo Rain, New Belgium Voodoo Ranger, for anyone who's had that, but with grapefruit.
Oh, that's so funny.
But yeah, that was not great. That sucks because I filled this up in my football mug, and
Weenie,
now I
you should
can't.
just drink it. Be a man.
It's
Be picky.
gross.
Is it
It
that bad?
literally tastes like paint, like thick like wall paint. Is
Uh,
yeah.
okay, mine may not be to my taste, but at least it's not a bad beer.
Like I can't imagine anybody liking that one. That one will be sitting in my fridge in like a year, and I'll be like, "Where the fuck is that from?" And then I'll be like, "I wonder if it's good," because
No, that's the beer that when someone comes over and they're like, "Hey, can I get something?" You're like, "There's something in there."
yeah, yeah. Check out that cool blue and black can. That one's cool
Though you
looking.
always leave it up front so they see it and they go, "Oh, that's kind of rad." Hey, what's this? You go, "Ah, it's not bad." And then when they don't like it, they feel weird.
Right. All right, let's get into some hot and cold. We are gonna do so as we said, we're gonna do some football this week. We're gonna do our predictions for the NFL season, but we are gonna do some baseball hot and cold and weekly news really quick. We're gonna run through before we get to that point. So, hot and cold. Max Scherzer. First off, Max Scherzer is hot as hell, and I'm pretty sure he hasn't lost a game since he went to the Dodgers. I think I just
He
read
has
somewhere.
not, and his ERA is like 0.88 or
Yeah,
something like
it's
that.
insane.
Since going to the
He's
Dodgers,
he's ridiculous.
he's the front runner I think right now for National League Cy Young by far.
I have some stats to debate that in a minute,
I
but
mean he's in the conversation, but I'm
yeah,
curious to see
he's
what you
definitely
have.
in there. In his game on last Sunday, the day 2 days after our podcast, where he got his 3,000th strikeout, he also threw an immaculate inning, which is 9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 strikeouts.
Uh,
Uh, that's fucking insane. That's the second one of those this year.
well, I think I
Uh,
messaged you after it happened, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna get his 3,000th today because he already had that, and I think that happened in like the second inning.
yeah. Uh, he also, which I didn't write down because I just saw it a minute ago. He also had a no hitter going into like the eighth inning in that game too.
No, it was a perfect game
Well, okay, perfect game going into the eighth, and then Eric Hosmer I think broke it up. But
because that would have been nuts
dude, what a freaking game! If you threw a perfect game,
with an
an
immaculate.
immaculate inning, and your 3,000th K in one game, like what the hell?
The baseball god said, "No, no, no, no,
Yeah,
no,
that's too much. Come on, leave some for the other people. And so on Monday, there was a no hitter thrown by the Brewers.
How do you feel about because so it was a combined no hitter?
Yeah, correct.
How do you feel
So
about that? Because they didn't
I
even
don't
send him out for.
know. He pitched 8 innings. It was Corbin Burns pitched 8 innings, and then Josh Hader, who I'm pretty sure is their closer, came in to finish it. um, I don't know. I've always thought that that's like not as impressive. Cause like I don't know. I feel like relievers come in all the time and throw a perfect inning. Like I don't think of it as impressive.
I
Like if
just
you go 9 innings by yourself without giving up a hit, that's a big deal. If you can go 1 inning without a hit, that's like
eh,
that happens pretty much every game for every pitcher, for every starter.
well, almost maybe.
I bet like 70% of games there's a 1, 2, 3 inning for every pitcher, starting pitcher.
That might not be too far off.
Like a 1, 2, 3 innings, pretty common.
Yeah, especially these days
So
when it's home run or strikeout.
true. Um, but yeah. So here's my debate. You can go ahead. Wait. What do you think about combined no hitters before I
I mean
continue?
the combined no hitters, whatever. I don't even think it should be necessarily counted as a no hitter. I mean, yeah, they were no
I mean,
hit,
it
but
doesn't. Really? Like it counts as a no hitter, but it doesn't go in like the record books because the record book is a complete game no hitter.
So, I mean, I don't really care.
Like the only stat that a combined no hitter counts for is like this is the ninth no hitter this season.
I'm more on the side of like, why didn't they send him out there for the ninth?
I mean, I didn't watch the game, so I don't know. He might
I
have
think,
thrown like 130 pitches already or something. Like,
yeah, I didn't. I heard that he might have been higher up there, but I didn't actually see
yeah, me
where
neither.
he was at. So I don't know. I don't know if that means he was at 100 because I feel like 80 pitches is high for these guys these days.
Yeah, it depends on the guy, but yeah, you're not wrong.
So,
Um,
but because I mean, if
okay,
he truly was that high, then maybe there is some justification there. But if he's like right around 100, even like maybe 110, like you let him go out there, he walks a guy or even gives up like anything, like okay, you're done. But at least give him a
right,
shot to get it.
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
um,
that's just me, but then again, I'm also thinking of trying to complete it. Not necessarily always. It's not always
yeah,
the smartest thing to do health wise.
okay. So my debate against Max Scherzer for Cy Young
Oh, okay.
is Corbin Burns, and that's because of the stat that I put here, which is a real thing. It's not something that like was made up here.
Are you
Okay,
making up stats?
so no, not the stats are real, but so there is a thing called the sabermetric pitching triple crown, which is Ks per 9 innings, walks per 9 innings, home runs per 9 innings. And the reason that those three stats are picked, I have an article pulled up that's all about this. Here, I can link it in chat here. Um, but they're picked because they're called the three true outcomes because they involve a simple pitcher batter confrontation rather than dragging in the defense. So basically, it's like you don't have to worry about errors. You don't have to worry about like your defense making a play. It's literally like walk, hit, or walk, strikeout, and home run. Nobody is involved except the hitter and the pitcher. So that's why they're picked. And he currently leads baseball in all three categories, which 12.4 Ks per 9 innings, pretty good.
That is
Like,
pretty nuts.
doesn't sound like insane, but it's pretty damn good.
I
Walks
mean,
per 9 innings,
these
1.7.
these days when pitchers are typically only going like 6 innings, 12
That's
Ks
fair.
in
Well,
6 innings is a lot.
no. Per nine
Or per
innings.
9. Yeah, I guess that's true.
So, like, it's average for 9 innings, but 1.7 walks per nine. And then this is the crazy one to me: home runs per 9 innings, zero point 0.3. He's given up 5 home runs the entire year. In modern day baseball, five
I don't know
home
how that
runs is,
compares.
I mean, he's significantly lower than anyone else. Like, not even close. Um, but yeah, so,
It's interesting.
and to throw this out there too, no
Getting noted.
pitcher has ever done this where they have finished the season leading all three of these statistics in the history of baseball.
Yeah, but because nobody cares about this, that's not going
I
to
mean, those
matter.
are
I'm not saying it's not valid. I'm just saying like
baseball
I've never
writers care about this, and they're the ones who vote.
mm, maybe
I, baseball writers care about stats a lot.
I would argue they don't, but I would say that it's important, but I think there's still things that are more important.
And also, I'll say that like you're not wrong, like obscure stats, but like these aren't that like walks and strikeouts per 9 innings is not like an obscure stat. Like that's
No,
a very common stat to judge people on.
that's true.
Um, but yeah, I just a
I
cool
mean, I
thing
wouldn't be
when I
mad either
was
way. I just know
yeah
no one from my team's winning it, so have at it.
yeah. Someone from my team could have won it if he didn't miss the entire season.
He would
But
if he kept pitching like that, he would have.
probably
Well, maybe because Degrom before he
Degrom's NL.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
which is another pitcher that people bring up because I think from what I've read, he's going to be eligible for Cy Young. He played enough games to be eligible, so
I wouldn't. He's
I
not.
wouldn't. He won't get it, and I wouldn't give it to him either. But
If he had
what
kept
he
pitching
did
like
this
that, he would
season
have.
was insane.
Yeah, he would have ran away with it if
Yeah,
he
of
kept
course.
going.
But all right. So moving on to our weekly, who's the best, who's the worst. The Giants remain the best
By one game.
by one game. They clinched the postseason berth, which is the fastest that it's ever been done in the Giants' history.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that it
It's
doesn't
only 2
seem that
weeks till the
early.
or 3 weeks till the
Yeah,
season's over. Like
there's 16 games left for
yeah.
most teams. So yeah, about 2.5 to 3 weeks.
So like
It doesn't seem that early.
but
But
apparently
they were the first to clinch. The Giants also have clinched now. I think they're the only two teams right now.
us and the Dodgers, yeah.
Um, all right, but I have a fun Giant stat that Fireproof does not know, or well, he might know it, but he doesn't know what I'm gonna say. So I'm curious of your reaction because you right before we went live, you were talking about how you don't trust your team late in the game.
Oh, I know what you're gonna. I know what you're gonna do. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, wait. I'm curious
I,
if you really know. I want to hear your
you're gonna
guess.
start listing off all the bullpen ERAs and stats because
No,
we actually have
no.
statistically a really
No,
good bullpen.
this is one stat that kind of proves you wrong.
All right, go ahead.
I guess it's the opposite though of what you're saying. All right, when the Giants are losing going into the eighth inning, the Giants have won 25% of those games. That's insane. Losing going into the eighth inning and you win 25% of the time.
I also think if you look up, the Giants have the most pinch hit home runs of any team this year.
That makes sense.
And I think that helps inflate that number. But yeah, when you win a quarter of the games you're losing with less than 6 outs or 6 outs to go, like that's pretty impressive. Like
that's a huge number. Like,
but a lot of those are
doesn't seem like a lot. Well, yeah, but still, that's when you're facing the other team's best pitchers too.
Typically, but that's what the Giants have done this year. That I don't think anybody can they're I think easily gonna set the record for the most home runs hit as a team this year, which is crazy to think because they had a guy by the name of Barry Bonds who was hitting like 60 a year by himself.
Yeah, but then nobody else was hitting any.
Well, no, they had a few guys that were hitting 20s, and I think 1 or 2 years. I think was it? I think Jeff Kent had a couple 30 home run years.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But maybe it wasn't all at the same time. I don't know. I can't remember when they all got hot. Because at one point or another, they all had really good years. I just don't know if they ever all had them in the same year.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't remember, but I was trying to find how many home runs the Giants currently have right now. Here, I think I found it. Giants they're not even in first this year, actually.
Really?
The Blue Jays have 10 more than them.
Maybe. Okay. I mean, that doesn't really
and
surprise me.
neither team is going to come close to the record.
Well, no, the record for the Giants.
Oh, okay, that might be, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, not the all-time record. Like the record
okay.
that for most like by any other Giants team.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Which is why I was saying it's kind of crazy considering the Giants at one point had a guy hitting 60 by himself.
Yeah. Okay, that makes way more sense to me. Yeah, the record's 307.
Yeah, I don't even think
Twins in 2019, and Blue Jays are at 233. The Giants are at 223.
Yeah.
So the Blue Jays would have to hit 74 home runs in 16 games, which is
that's video game
not
numbers.
happen.
Well, right, I mean, exactly. If Vlad gets hot. hits a
He'd
home run
have to get
every single
real.
at
He'd
bat.
be breaking Barry Bonds' record if he gets that hot.
uh,
But yeah.
although he
So
has been red hot.
yes.
I feel like every
Um,
day, we were talking before, it's like every day there's another notification of him getting another one or two.
yeah. But yeah. And then the cold of the week. The Orioles and Diamondbacks are currently tied at 47 and 99. Uh, that is the 322 win percentage, and with 16 games left, it's anybody's race to who will get the worst record in baseball.
That's terrible.
It's bad.
That is
It's really
so
bad.
bad. It's
Uh,
and it's funny because you have one of the worst teams in baseball and three of the best teams in baseball in the same division.
yep. I mean, when you get a team that's not very good, and then you put them in where they have to play three of the best teams 17 times a piece, like it makes sense, I guess. But
That's true.
um, fun fact too that I didn't know until just now: the Padres have officially fallen out of the wild card. The
How
St.
they?
Louis Cardinals now have a half game lead on the Padres for the second wild card slot.
Oh damn. Okay.
So
Because I
the
was gonna say
Padres
how that
could miss the playoff.
they just won two in a row.
I mean, it might not have just happened. The Cardinals have won five in a row. So,
Mm,
but
next.
anyway, moving to a little bit of news. We talked about it for a second there, but the home run race, which has been pretty exciting all year, is winding down, but definitely not over yet.
I don't think it's even close to being over.
No. Vlad Jr. has officially taken the lead as of tonight. He hit his 46th home run, putting him one ahead of Salvador Perez, who's insane, and two ahead of Shohei Ohtani. It's pretty much those three.
Which I feel
Uh,
like it's been basically those three for the last like month.
Perez was quite a bit behind. Oh, for the last month, yeah. Perez was quite a bit behind, like a month and a half, 2 months ago.
That's fair.
He's made up a lot of ground, but so triple crown watch. Vlad Jr. is 8 RBIs back, but he's 3 points back in batting average, leading in home runs, 8 RBIs back, three batting average points back. So
Do you think
not
he gets it?
impossible. No,
I don't think he does either.
I think he could get two or three. I think he doesn't get the RBIs.
I feel like he's been a little too far behind for a while.
8 RBIs in 16 games might not be a lot, but that's assuming the guys in front of you get zero.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you have to make up 8 RBIs. And the guys in front, Salvador Perez is hitting home runs. Granted, he's on a bad team where a lot of guys don't get on base, but then Jose Abreu is 6 ahead of him, and Jose Abreu is on a very good team where a lot of players are getting on base.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I don't think he
it's
gets it
it,
either. But okay, so in a dream world, if he does get the triple crown, who gets MVP, him or Otani?
okay. Because MVP is total player, I feel like it's got to go to Otani because you have to take in his pitching and hitting and fielding when he plays right field because he's pretty damn good out there too. So I feel like it's got to go to him. Now, if you were judging just on hitters, I would say Vlad probably would be MVP.
I just
But
think it's funny because typically you would go, well, you have to go with the history and like how rare getting the Triple Crown is. But what
True.
Otani's doing
Is
is
also history.
probably even more historic because
And
I mean
definitely
technically it hasn't
rarer
even been done
'cause-
in like what, like 100 years,
yeah.
give or take.
Yeah.
Whereas what we were talking, I think last week, the Triple Crown was done in 2012 by Miguel Cabrera.
Right. And then it hadn't been done for a long time before that.
No, but it has been done like
But right. It's been done more recent
yes.
than a pitcher who's a really good hitter.
Like I don't even want to give it to Otani, especially if he would to somehow win the Triple Crown. But I almost think you almost have to, with how good
Yeah.
he's been.
Yeah. I agree. Do you let me ask you this then. Do you take into account team success, even though you shouldn't? It seems like they always do. Because
I
right now, amazingly, and I didn't actually know this until just now, the Blue Jays are actually in the wild card right now.
I
They've
know
come all the way back and they're in.
Vlad is carrying them to the promised land with all these home runs.
Right. So, and the Angels are not even close to anything.
I mean, it's one thing that it's tough because you would argue that I could see the argument. Well, like how valuable are you if you're not winning?
Right.
But especially with baseball, there's so many different things. It's not like basketball.
Right.
One player can make a huge impact.
Yes, of course.
Whereas baseball is not quite. You don't get quite that same impact. I mean, there are players that can.
I mean,
like Otani is showing that one player can make a huge difference.
just look at Mike Trout when he's healthy. Like, the dude's barely been in the playoffs, and he's without question the best player in all of baseball.
Like so I don't know. Like I want to say, like personally, I don't care about team success, but at the same time, like I understand where the argument is made.
Yeah.
Where if your team's
Right.
not winning, like there's who's more valuable, you or someone on a team that's actually winning and
Right.
contributing to a winning team.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it shouldn't factor in, but it definitely does.
because
And it,
you could
because
all
it's supposed to be how valuable you are to your team. Like, that's the definition of the award. Like, most valuable player to their team in the league. And it's like, well, with Mike Trout off the Angels, if you took Otani off the Angels, where would they be right now? If you took Vlad off the Blue Jays, where would they be? It's like both teams would probably be significantly worse. So
yeah, but the only difference is you're taking a team that's bad and making them worse, whereas you're taking a team that's in the playoffs, at least as of right now,
yeah,
and taking them out of the playoffs because there's no way they're there.
yeah,
So that's the why I could see the difference in actually
yeah,
having that as a thing. Because like if your team's bad and taking you off the team just makes them really bad. I
sure.
mean, that doesn't have as much of an impact as taking someone who's good off a team that like is maybe a borderline playoff team,
Yeah,
and now they're no longer even close to a playoff team.
yeah, that's fair. Also, the AL wild card is going to be fun as hell down the stretch. Because right now, the Blue Jays, Red Sox, and Yankees are all separated by half a game, and they're all AL East rivals. Like,
Oh man,
it's going to be fun. But so you saw this more than I did, so you can talk about that one if you want.
I don't know what game it was, but it happened I think on Tuesday, maybe it was Wednesday. But one of the umpires at the Orioles game threw out. It looked like he ejected them, but the grounds crew, apparently it was they were thinking that it might rain, so they were out, but they were like kind of just sitting basically in foul territory on the tarp. And
Yeah.
he runs over and kicks him out, and apparently he just kicked him off the field, but originally it was like reported they ejected him and like they made it sound a lot worse than it was. But it was just kind of funny watching like a blue like go out to like basically almost the outfield, kick these people out.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny to watch. If you haven't seen it, just go search like Orioles ground crew ejected or something.
It was
Uh,
pretty funny.
it's funny to watch. Um,
I don't even know
this
if it
one,
ended up raining after that. If the grounds crew is
I
even
think it was
needed.
already like the ninth inning, so like I doubt it.
Maybe he was just tired of seeing him out there. He's like, if it's gonna rain at this point, we're calling it, so you don't need to be on the field.
Right. Um, this one was interesting to me. Ryan Braun retires from baseball.
Doesn't surprise
First
me.
off, I didn't know Ryan Braun was still in baseball.
Oh, really?
Second of all, isn't he on the Brewers,
No,
who are very, very good?
no, I don't think so.
Now I have to look.
I know you got me. I didn't think he was, but maybe he was. No, yeah, he was. Still, he played
Well, he only,
39
yeah.
games last year. He didn't play at
Oh,
all
he hasn't
this.
played at all. Wait, is he on Brewers right now?
I mean, he's not. He's not showing up. I don't know. Maybe he
I don't.
hasn't played this year. Maybe he was a free agent and it just never got picked up.
Maybe. But
I'm,
yeah, Ryan Braun, famously known for getting caught cheating, and I mean
I
that is what
knew
he's known for. No,
not to
that's
every. That's not
legitimately
what everybody thinks of when they think of Ryan Braun.
that is literally what he's most known for. In Major League Baseball, that is what Ryan Braun is most known for. Like
Okay,
that's not even. I'm not even like trying to do anything. That's legitimately a fact.
maybe it's just me then.
I mean, he was really good right up until he got caught with steroids, and then he was terrible the rest of his career. It's really funny how you look at
Yeah, the
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 first
drop off
6 years of his career.
is pretty steep.
The first 6 years of his career, all star every year, rookie of the year, MVP, second in MVP, third in MVP, Silver Slugger every year,
Hits
and then the
41.
year he got caught, no more awards, one All Star appearance.
Uh, yeah, the drop was pretty bad.
He had one good year. 2016, he batted 305, but that was the only year. But yeah, I mean, he
That's
was
pretty funny.
really fun to watch when he was younger, but just disappeared after that.
Oh, that'll happen.
Well, right. And then I don't. How much of this did you see? The Yankees and Mets whistling thing.
I saw a little bit, but not a lot, because I don't really care. Like, it's all this whole sign stealing
It's
garbage.
like
It's I don't know.
it's really. It was really weird because like the Yankees players came out and were like, "Yeah, that was this guy. He did it." And they were like, "He does it literally every game, and everyone tells him to shut up because he's really annoying. He doesn't. He's not stealing signs. He just whistles really loud all the time." And it's like, okay. I'm like, I don't know.
I
I
mean,
feel like if there was something there where he was actually stealing signs, you wouldn't like call the guy out and be like, "Yeah, it's definitely this guy."
well, but then
Like,
but in theory, like I don't know, maybe somebody's already done it. But then that would be easy to trace back because you would just go watch game footage against any team, and it should be there. Like you should be able to hear him whistling,
yeah.
in theory.
And I don't. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Um, but I don't know. I
If you want
honestly
a
don't care.
real, I don't either.
I thought it was dumb, but they like got into it. Like
Lindor
Stanton hit a home.
Lindor went all mad.
Yeah, Lindor's been
Was
going all mad lately.
Lindor's a dick now? Honestly, he's kind of annoying the shit out of me.
Like he's not had a good year in my opinion, PR wise.
He hasn't had a good year on the field wise either.
It's
He's had a terrible season,
so, but
which is part of the reason the Mets are gonna probably miss the playoffs.
In my opinion, okay, so maybe this is just me, but if you can steal someone's signs, if someone's tipping pitches, why wouldn't you steal the signs?
Right,
Like, I mean, I get it if you're like cheating, like
right,
what the
right.
Astros did, like using cameras or something like that. Like, oh,
Yes,
that's too
totally
much. But if
different.
you're like legitimately just like on second base or at the plate, and you're like, hey, I notice I'm like, and you notice how he's tipping his pitches, and you're like, okay, or somebody else notices and like, hey, watch for this. Like, I'm one. Maybe it's just me, but I'm
Yeah,
100% okay with that. That's
I don't have an
gamesmanship, in
issue with
my
that.
point.
Right. As long my big thing when it this versus the Astros is the technology. As soon as you use
Oh,
script,
all right,
there
we're
we
back.
go.
As soon as you
Uh,
use,
as soon as you use technology to steal signs and stuff is when that's just straight cheating.
I don't disagree. 'Cause, like, I feel like that's what we used to try and do, like, all the
Oh
time.
yeah, you would literally sit in the dugout and watch the other team's third base coach do all his,
When you coached, did you look to try and steal signs?
not really, because when I coached, I realized that 90% of the time in high school, the third base coach is not giving a sign.
It's actually that's a good point. That is very true.
Something I did not realize in high school that I realized once I became a coach is that
That's true.
very rarely is there actually be a sign being given.
That's very true. But I've
Because
also
most high school teams have like a steal, a hit and run,
a bunt,
a
like a
bunt, and
guaranteed bunt.
maybe a take, and that's like the only signs that they're gonna have. Other than that, it's just swing away.
If it's there, hit it.
Right. Because you're dealing with high schoolers who probably can't hit it.
Oh,
But
yeah,
no,
that's actually really funny.
I was like when I realized that like the whole time in high school trying to steal signs, I'm like, wow, that was fucking dumb.
So I also noticed though, the coaches that the less a coach does, the more it says.
That's fair. Because you want to make sure the kids are paying attention when you give the signs, so you don't do as much.
Yeah, like I've noticed that it's easier to catch signs off of people that don't do as much.
Yeah,
One, because there's less to look at, but two, just because by the nature of typically what you're doing means something.
yeah, that's fair.
Um, but but I also have played games where we didn't have signs, like no
Yeah,
signs, and
yep,
you're out there giving signs every other hitter
yep,
or something,
yeah,
and there's literally no preset
right.
signs, so literally nothing over the course of the game. You're telling them
The best,
nothing.
the best is when the hitter knows there's no sign. But so you're like doing one, and then he just like turns around and gets in the box while you're in the middle of it, and it's like, what? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Now I just look like an idiot.
Well, now they know I'm just full of shit.
Right. But no, uh it was fun. I
I
liked doing being a base coach. Like
see. I could
I
never do
always enjoyed
third. I don't know. I'll do first. I'm okay with that. I don't want that responsibility of third.
that.
Never wanted it.
I I loved being third base coach.
Uh,
But
but
all
no,
right.
this whistling thing, it's dumb. It's millionaires
Yeah.
bitching because people are whistling. I don't care.
John All right, we're gonna bring him up again, but John Boy did like a 25-minute breakdown on this
I did
with
not
like
watch. I watched part of it and
showing
was like, I don't want to watch 25
it
minutes of
was
this
like
breakdown.
breaking down like sound clips and like showing you the wave files, and I'm like, man, this is like next level. This isn't even like a John Boy breakdown. This is like some crazy like investigative reporting
You could
stuff.
tell he was riding hard
Yeah,
because he's a Yankees fan, if I'm not mistaken.
he is. That's his biggest downfall for sure.
But no, I saw that. I watched part of it. I just couldn't. I couldn't watch
Yeah,
a lot of
I
that.
didn't finish it, but yeah, it's nuts. But anyway, let's move on to some football.
Dun dun dun. I'm excited for
Um,
football.
Me too. So okay, so I wanted to get your take on at least this. I didn't know if you had anything else that was, but um, the 17 game schedule. What do you think about adding that extra game?
To me, like, whatever. I don't know. Do
My
any real fans like care?
No, probably not. I mean, fans are probably pumped for an extra game.
I mean, that matters maybe, but the game was still going to be played regardless.
Yeah. My biggest thing, see, I would have been pumped for a 17th game if they added in a second bye week.
Ooh, that could shake things up a little bit. Where you,
Because then you get an extra rest day. Like now you're adding an extra game, an extra week of practice, and you're not giving anybody any extra rest. Like you're just adding an extra week. And
I
it's
mean,
like
that's fair.
if you would have broken up the schedule, added in one more bye week for each team, I feel like you get guys healthy again and you get, some rested guys late in the year instead of guys like running their head into the ground by the end of the season.
But if you add another bye week, then you end up stretching the season out.
It would be 2 weeks longer instead of 1 week, but I mean, does anyone care?
So would you
It's
give
football.
everyone like one bye week altogether? Like just one full week off of
No,
football?
I'd do it exactly how they do it now, but every team gets a bye week in the first 8 games, and every team gets a bye week in the last 8 games.
I feel like that would stretch it out longer than just an extra week though to get every team the bye week. Maybe.
No,
Maybe not.
I mean, it was a 17-week season with 16 games. It would be an 18-week season with 17 or 19-week season with 17 games. It wouldn't be that tough.
But either way, I could see that getting more rest. But to me, I don't really care.
No, I don't either. I
I
mean,
mean, it's good for betting. Maybe more fun for fantasy football, which I'm really bummed I didn't get a chance to do this year.
yeah, same. I would have liked to, but I also just don't have time to do it.
I just
So
don't. I didn't know anybody that was running a league that I wanted to
yeah, I had
be a
people
part
that I
of.
used to work with that asked me because I was in a league with them the year last year, and I was like, I don't have the time. Plus, I don't really care about you anymore.
Although when I do fantasy football, I go all in.
Same.
I watch like everything
Oh
all the
yeah, I'm
time.
doing last second free agent pickups to throw on, and
Well, and I'm watching all the shows at night.
yeah,
Like I'm watching every
yeah.
game that I can. Like I don't pay
Sitting
for
there
like
with
the
my
red
phone,
zone, but
getting like second to second
yeah,
updates. Oh yeah,
yeah, it
yep,
was bad.
I'm with you.
But I do have to say, the only time I've played, I got second place. I'll take it.
Fair enough.
I would have won, but fucking Antonio Brown.
I last year got completely wrecked by injuries. I had
Uh,
Saquon Barkley. I had uh oh crap, I can't remember his name. He's a receiver for the Broncos. He was like their number one. um, and that's gonna
yeah.
bother me. Uh, I'm looking it up really quick, but uh, Portland Sutton.
Oh, okay.
I had uh, Michael Brown. No, the Saints' number one receiver getting passes from Drew Brees.
Oh,
Um,
I know who you're talking about, but oh, see, this is why I need to watch more football. I would, I would
should
know.
have just pulled up the depth chart for every team because we're just gonna keep doing this.
Uh,
Michael Thomas.
there you go.
I had him. He got out for the year. I had Deshaun Watson, or no, I had, who did I have? Yeah, Deshaun Watson, who like missed half the season and was like,
Oh, okay. It was
our
that
whole
year.
team just got wrecked. Like, basically everyone I drafted was not playing by like week 3. But
Uh,
anyway,
you know who
um,
carried me to the promised land? Your boy,
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb, baby. It was his rookie year, and I had him, and I picked him up, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this dude?
It doesn't matter. It
it-
doesn't matter which year because he's been a stud
yeah.
every single year.
Well, but no, but I got him because nobody like he was
Yeah.
on nobody's charts, and I picked him up in week 2 because I think I had one of the Niners running backs, and I think he had gotten hurt. So I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck, I need to pick up a running back," and he was just out there. So I picked him up like week 2, and I rode him like a fucking horse all the way through.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man. But yeah, you want to just hop right in?
yeah, I'm good.
All right. I have this going from east to west for both leagues. So
Okay,
starting with the AFC East.
okay.
All right. You want to do? How do you want to do this? You want to do? We each do our 1 through 4, or you want to do 1, 1, 2, 2?
No, we'll just do 1 through 4. That way we can go through
All
them a little quicker.
right. All right. Go for it.
All right, for that division, I would put Bills 1, Jets. No, Patriots 2, just because it's Patriots and I think they figure it out. Jets, Dolphins, maybe put the Jets at the bottom. I don't know. I don't really watch any of those teams.
The Jets have been the worst team in football for like 5 years. Just
Yeah,
to...
but they also, I think, had some decent picks this last year, if I'm not mistaken. But
Fair.
they've had some decent picks, I think, the last few years.
So I agree with you for Bills. I think that's kind of a no-brainer in the AFC East. But I actually have Dolphins going to, then the Patriots, then the Jets. I have the two rookie quarterbacks there going 3 and 4. I don't think either one is very good.
Oof. Ow.
I think the Patriots quarterback is going to be really bad.
Oh,
And
you
I
think
think
so?
yeah.
Well, okay. Why? Is it just the Patriots hate, or
No. I hate Tom Brady. I don't really give a shit about the Patriots. Very open about that. I mean, I don't really like Bill Belichick either. He's kind of a dick, but I don't really care about the Patriots anymore. They're irrelevant.
now that Tom Brady's gone?
Yeah. I mean, realistically, they're not going to win anything. No, he was okay in college, but he is a worse Tom Brady. Like, he can't move. He has zero athleticism, and they don't have a great offensive line. And
I feel
he's got an okay arm. Like,
I feel like these are a lot of the things that were said about Brady when he was coming in. He's got zero mobility.
Yeah,
His
but-
arm's okay. Those are like
but
almost
Tom Brady,
exact
nobody-
criticisms of Tom Brady.
here's the difference. Tom Brady was a 7th-round pick. Nobody gave a shit if
Okay.
Tom Brady was good or not.
I guess
This
that's
dude was
fair.
like the 4th overall pick or something.
That's fair. I'm just saying, there's pretty ironic criticisms there being levied at the Patriots new quarterback.
No, zero chance. I will bet $1 billion this dude is not going to be Tom Brady.
I guarantee that too. But it's just kind of funny.
And then the Jets are just last because they're just a dysfunctional organization.
Well,
They're the new Browns, and as a Browns fan, I know how much that sucks, and I feel for their fan base, but they're the new Browns.
Okay, so you have Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets.
Correct.
Okay.
And I don't think the bottom 3. I don't think any of them are going to be good.
Well,
I think
mean,
they're all going to be like
the Dolphins
5
are
to 2 wins.
the Dolphins are the only team in that the division that have a win right now.
I mean, true, but you can't put that much into week 1.
Come on, man. Week 1, you got to make all the houses burning down predictions, right?
Yeah. You'd be surprised how much of that I heard out of Cleveland. And I'm like, we took the Super Bowl, like AFC champions, to the 4th quarter, and we only lost because of some bad fumbles. Whatever. Anyway, we'll go to the AFC North, home of my Browns.
Ooh.
Uh, you want to go again?
Why don't you go ahead and go and
All right.
then
So I have Browns. I'm going to be a homer, but also I feel like that's kind of the consensus pick among
that's who
everybody.
I would have it one.
Um, Ravens number two. Then I'm going to shock the world here. Bengals, and then Steelers. I think Joe Burrow, if he stays healthy, can lead that Bengals to a better record than the Steelers.
I think Joe Burrow is better than people give him credit for.
He's
So,
real good.
I wouldn't disagree with you. I actually would probably go that same route. Uh,
The only thing that's different for most people is they have Steelers over Bengals because,
but I don't.
like,
I think
the
Joe Burrow's
Bengals are not.
underrated.
I mean, I don't know if he's underrated. He was. Everyone last year was saying he was going to be the next great quarterback, and the only reason he got was that he got hurt, that he
Maybe I didn't hear
didn't
that as
win
much.
like every award. I think he's going to be really good. I wouldn't be surprised in 2 years if he's a top three quarterback in the NFL.
That's pretty.
Um,
You said top three.
yeah,
That's pretty.
I mean, you also have to think in like 3 years, you might not have Brady, you might not have Aaron Rodgers,
That's
so
pretty
that
fair.
does clear that up a little bit. But no, I think he really has the talent to be a top tier quarterback. But will the Bengals put anything around him? Who knows?
Yeah. Well, what did you think of Andy Dalton when he was with the Bengals? Do you think he
I
was
thought
better
Andy Dalton.
than he
I thought
was?
he was mediocre,
Okay.
slightly above average, maybe.
Okay. I don't
But
know if I would
I mean,
disagree with that.
yeah,
I think
I
he
don't
was better than
like.
people gave him credit for, but I also don't think he was like that great.
Yeah, he was never like a Pro Bowl perennial Pro Bowler, but he was good enough to be their franchise quarterback for like a decade.
I know, right?
All right, we will move on to the AFC South.
AFC South.
You can go first on this one.
Oh, all right.
This is a tough one.
This one is kind of. Uh, I think I've got. I think I've got Titans, Colts. I think the rookie figures it out, even though he had kind of a rough week one with the Jags and then the Texans.
Okay, I have slightly different. I have Colts winning it, Titans, then I have the Texans, and then the Jaguars. I
Okay.
think, I think, crap, what's his name? Trevor Lawrence for the Jaguars. I think he will be good, but they just don't have anything around him right now.
Well, and
So
he had a rough game one.
yeah, well, he has zero offensive line, so like he got beat to hell. Like I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't last the year.
Um, I don't think he's going to be bad. I just think he's had a tough time
Yeah.
adjusting, which is
I
why
think
I
he'll
had
be
them
good.
third over the
Yeah,
Texans. But
I think he'll be good long term, but I don't think his rookie year he'll be very good.
that's fair.
And not his fault. He doesn't have an offensive line. He has like no weapons. He doesn't. He has an. I think their running back is okay, but yeah, I don't, not to his fault, but I don't think he'll have a good rookie year.
Fair.
All right, AFC West. All right, I'll go on this one. Chiefs are the no-brainer. I feel like
I don't.
you,
Yeah, I was
you
gonna say.
can't really you can't really go against them. Also, fun fact: AFC West won. All four teams won in Week 1.
Just
I'm
kind
pretty
of.
sure they were the only division to do that. Oh no. Yeah, that's right.
This is kind of funny.
Oh no, I take that back. The NFC West also all won in week one.
Let's go.
But anyway, Chiefs winning. Then I have the Chargers in second, Raiders in third, Broncos in fourth.
Wait, so you had Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos?
Yep.
Ooh. I'm only going to switch it up a little bit. And that's because I don't know why, but I have faith that they're actually going to put it together this year. And I'm going to go Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos.
Thought you might do that. I have zero faith that John Gruden will ever be a good coach.
It's not John Gruden that I have faith in. It's some of the guys they have. Like I believe in Derek Carr. If he can stay healthy,
Yeah.
he's way I think he is way better than people have ever given him credit for.
Yeah. I mean, part of that's that he's never really had anybody to like help him out.
See, and the sad part is he's had weapons, but no one
Right.
to like
Sorry,
show
I
him
meant,
how to use
yeah,
them.
I
Yeah.
meant good coaching was my,
Yeah.
because even like people
I
love
mean, he had
John
Amari
Gruden for
Cooper in
whatever
his
reason. Yeah. For whatever reason, people love John Gruden, but uh, he's never been an offensive coach.
No.
Like
John
when he was
Gruden.
with the Buccaneers, like back in the day, like that team was 100% defense.
I love
They won a Super Bowl with like Mike Glennon or something.
uh, I
And
don't
if you're asking who's Mike Glennon, that's the right answer.
know. So, I think he's one of the best like TV voices that football has had. Bar,
I don't agree.
really, I loved him on TV.
I can't stand him.
Really, I don't know. I
I
liked him on
honestly
TV.
like hate hearing him talk.
That's funny. That's actually really funny.
Like I'm not debating 100% the dude knows football more than I will ever know in my entire life. I'm not debating that at all. But just listening to him speak annoys me.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, there are people like that. Like,
Yeah. Nothing personal against him. Like he might be a super nice guy. I can't stand the sound of his voice.
fair enough. I liked his takes, so I thought he was great on TV. But I don't.
I will say
Hearing his voice doesn't make me want to punch him in the face. So I think we're in a different ballpark here.
the only thing I've ever seen him in that I liked, and it's because they didn't really focus on him, was the when he did the like quarterback, like the upcoming quarterbacks in every draft would go to like him for like a little mini camp
Oh,
thing. I forget what it was called, but those were fun to watch. But it was because I wanted to see the quarterbacks because the Browns were always going to take one of them.
that's actually kind of funny.
But yeah, all right, we'll move over to the NFC. You can go first on this one. NFC East.
Ooh, I was just looking at that.
Yeah. NFC East, by far the worst division in football last year. Like not even close.
I don't think that's going to be the case this year.
I think they might be the worst division overall.
Maybe
because they're. I don't. I mean, I'm not. I think whoever wins the division will win with like 8 games.
That very well could be. I think I'm gonna go Eagles, Giant. I don't like. I kind of have faith, but I don't know if I have enough faith to put them that high.
Fun fact, just to sway your decision here, the Giants are already 0-2.
I know they're 0-2. I know. All right, I'm gonna go Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Washington. I think the Giants figure it out. I don't think they're that. I don't think they're as bad as their 0-2 record shows so far.
Fun fact, I am almost exactly flipped from you.
Like almost exactly fully.
Yeah. So I have Washington winning the division.
Huh?
then I have the Cowboys, then the Eagles, then the Giants. So I think I put the Giants all the way down.
Okay, yeah.
But you had
I had Washington at the
Eagles,
bottom.
Cowboys, Giants, Washington. I had Washington, Cowboys, Eagles, Giants.
That's actually kind of funny.
Washington's defense is really good. Their offense was looking like it had the potential to be okay, and then Ryan Fitzpatrick got hurt for the year, and then they have, I forget what his name was, Henke,
Yeah.
I think is their backup.
Here,
So they might be calling up Cam Newton soon.
oh no. Yeah,
But
it's Taylor
I have
Heineke.
yeah, I have no faith in the Cowboys. I honestly almost put the Eagles over the Cowboys. Jalen Hurts looked really good in week one.
Well, that's why I have the Eagles high. I think,
Yeah.
and I think the Cowboys, if Dak and Ezekiel Elliott can stay healthy all year, I think they've got a shot at being one of the better teams in their division.
All right. Ready for this?
Oh, don't give me some obscure stat like how they haven't been healthy in like 5 years.
No. Hot take time. Ezekiel Elliott, my Ohio State guy, is the most overrated player in the NFL.
Ooh, ooh. Eesh.
Ezekiel Elliott has not been good since their offensive line got hurt and got old. 100% of Ezekiel Elliott's first couple years in the league where he was good was because he had holes to run in that could fit like 5 people through them.
Damn, going in on.
And I loved Ezekiel Elliott in college. He was one of my favorite Buckeyes, but
going in.
he is not a good NFL player.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
Yeah. If you look at his stats, they have not been good for like 4 years. And they've been going down almost every year, and yet somehow he got like the highest running back contract in history. Because the Cowboys will pay anybody.
I wouldn't have disagreed with you if you had stayed just the like he's kind of overrated, but you took that like way farther than I can condone. I don't think he's that overrated. I do think he's slightly overrated at this point because I like you said his numbers have been declining, but I still think he's better than most. And if he's healthy and Dak is healthy, I think they're going to have a good year. I'm not saying he's going to be insane. I'm just saying seeing them at second place in that division wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Damn, you went in on my man. I'm going to have to clip that out.
His yards per carry have literally gone down every single season since he's joined the league.
Oh, man.
His fumbles have gone up. His touchdowns have gone down except for 1 year. His yards have gone down every year, including last year where he didn't even rush for 1,000. He only rushed for like 900 yards, and he's there. He doesn't split time with anybody. I'm telling you, he had 11 carries for 33 yards in week one.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Not good.
That's so funny.
But anyway, that's my hot take for the day. Going in on one of my own.
Oh man, this is so bad.
I don't feel good about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really do love Ezekiel Elliott, but he's not a good player in the NFL.
All right, so on to the next division.
All right, NFC East. No,
we
NFC
just did
North. All right, so this is me. So I'm gonna go Packers. Although I'm hesitant now after week one, but Packers, Vikings, Bears, Lions. Pretty much the same as that division has looked for the last like 6 years.
You're probably.
I
So
think
you, so you had what? Packers,
Vikings,
Bears,
Bears,
Lions.
Lions. The Packers looked really bad in week 1.
Yeah, but it's Aaron Rodgers. He'll figure it out. Like
Yeah,
I I don't see that as a big issue. Personally, I mean, I don't see
I
them just staying. I mean, who knows? Maybe that cliff that everyone talked about Brady falling off. Maybe Aaron
I
Rodgers
don't
just fell off, but I highly doubt it.
unless he's just tanking so that he can like go anywhere he wants basically next year.
Yeah, but who would want him if he's showing he's got like nothing left? Okay, we're back.
All right.
But who would want him if like he's showing that he ain't got shit left in the tank? Oh my god, my internet is
Rip.
having issues right now.
No, I get your question though. I don't know. I feel like there'd still be teams who would be like, it's Aaron Rodgers, and he was in a really shitty situation where like neither the team nor him were happy, and neither he didn't want to be there. I feel
It's gonna
like
be like a Brett Favre situation.
I feel like teams would take a chance on him.
Like,
Teams that were like Super Bowl contenders if they had a quarterback.
except for I think most of the Super Bowl contenders have a quarterback.
That's fair. I would really have to look at it to think like uh
I don't know, but I
Saint.
mm, I don't know. We'll get to them in a second.
Yeah.
Um,
But anyway, yeah.
For mine, I would go. I would only switch maybe the Vikings and the Bears.
That's fair.
I would go Packers, Bears, Vikings, Lions. And I only put the Lions at the bottom because they picked up Jared Goff, who was like the biggest pretender of the last decade.
What a steal for the Rams.
Right.
Like you send Jared Goff and like it was like a 4th round pick or something
For
to
Matthew
get Matt
Stafford.
Like, and to be fair, Stafford's not like a
No.
all-time great quarterback.
If they had got him like 5 years ago, though.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, totally agree. But he's way better than Jared Goff.
Yeah. No, that was a fleece of. That was a good job on their part. I think that's going to make the Rams very good this year, potentially. Because you saw how good like Cooper Kupp was with Jared Goff. Now imagine like Cooper Kupp healthy with Matt Stafford.
Yeah. We'll get to that division in a second because that's going to be a fun one. But
that would be the only switch I would make because I really like Justin Fields.
True, but Justin Fields is not playing.
He will though.
Yes, I agree. He will. But
and
will he be the starter this year?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
And
I
not
think
as sure of that.
Well, I mean, they do have a couple other.
I would like to see it. Like being like, I would love to see him get a shot because like Ohio State guy, but and I really think he will be good. But
I
don't. If Andy Dalton stays solid and they use just like they played Justin Fields this week, he would come in like for a play or two. But if Andy Dalton plays solid, I don't see him getting pulled, but we'll see.
All right, on to the next one.
Yep. NFC South. This is all you.
I'm gonna go. I mean, I think number one spot is like a gimme, right? With the Bucks, we're just both gonna agree on that one. Tom Brady's winning his 8th Super Bowl.
Yeah, it would have been really good though had you been like, I feel like it's a gimme with the Panthers. Like, wait, what?
That actually would have been pretty good. That would have been pretty good. No, I'm gonna go Bucks. I think I'm gonna go Saints, Falcons, Panthers. think that's what I'm gonna go.
Fair. Uh, yes, Bucks are obviously first. I have the Saints second as well, but then I put the Panthers ahead of the Falcons.
Okay.
I feel like the Falcons still have Matt Ryan, but then they're doing a full rebuild everywhere else on that
Yeah,
team.
I mean you're
And
not
it's
wrong.
like, it's a really weird situation because, like, Matt Ryan's pretty old now. And it's weird that they're keeping him when they're trying to, like, blow the team up. Plus,
Yeah,
the Panthers got Sam Darnold, who looked pretty damn good in week one
I think Sam Darnold was just a case of being in
on the
the
Jets.
Jets franchise,
Yeah,
which is
I
like what I
agree with
said
that.
with Jonathan Sanchez. I think he was
Mark
better, or
Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez. Sorry, I always say Jonathan. I don't know why. Maybe it was the Giants. I don't know. But Mark Sanchez, I think he was a case of. I think he would have had a much better career if he didn't play in New York.
Yeah, I agree. The Jets have not been good, especially for offensive players, for a long time.
A long time.
But yeah, so I'm actually really curious to see Sam Darnold there because the Panthers have some really good young receivers, and they have Christian McCaffrey.
Well, Christian McCaffrey is like my favorite.
I mean, the dude's insane. The dude can literally do everything
I think the
except
year I
stay
did.
healthy.
I think the year I did fantasy, I had him and Nick Chubb.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's not fair. Especially that would have been Nick Chubb before Kareem Hunt. So
Yeah, so
like
where he was just
he
getting
was
fed
the
the
only
ball.
running back. Yeah. Damn.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that I mean I'm not too surprised we're what how do you feel about what's his name on the Saints? Fuck.
Jameis Winston.
Yeah, Jameis Winston.
I mean, the dude went off on Green Bay, being 5 touchdown passes. Like,
Yeah.
that was, granted, he only threw for like 140 yards or something, which was really weird to me. But
Yeah. That was a
um,
Cowboys game.
but yeah, he looked good. He got that laser corrective surgery, so hopefully the interceptions are gone. It would be really, really funny if like that was really what it was.
Well, and I would argue that he could have taken Tampa Bay to a Super Bowl. Now, I don't know if he wins like Tom Brady does,
Well,
but I think he's good enough to get you there if he can
I,
cut down
I
on the
think
interceptions.
he definitely has the potential to be a really good quarterback. Like, I mean, the dude led the league in passing yards for like 2 straight years. Granted, a lot of that was garbage time that they were trying to come back. It's tough to tell because, like, when Brady went to the Buccaneers, they went out and got like 10 new players to like beef up the offensive line and give him some weapons and
Tom
stuff,
Brady's old; he can't move. You got to protect him.
basically. But like, yeah, it's funny because it's like, why didn't you do that with Jared Goff, who cost you way less money? Like, you had more money to spend and you didn't go get these same guys. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
who?
But
Who
anyway.
knows?
All right, we'll move on to your division, the NFC West.
Do you want to go
You
or you
want
want me?
to? I can run through mine really quick.
Okay.
So
See
this
if I have
was
to
a
punch you in the
hard.
face.
This was a hard division to pick because I think all 4 of these teams are going to be good.
I do too.
Um, Basically the opposite of the NFC East. It was like I had a hard time picking that one because I didn't know who was going to be good. This one, I feel like they're all potential playoff teams. All right. So yes, you will. By the way, I'm going Seahawks to win it. 49ers, Cardinals, Rams.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
honestly, like I honestly looked at this one for a minute because it's hard to pick. They're they're
This is a
all
pretty
really
stacked
good.
division.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a homer 100% because I think that as long as they can stay healthy and not
Right.
and actually on the
Oh,
field, I think
that's a big if.
yeah, I think the Niners are one of the better teams in all of football, let alone their division.
Fair.
So I have them at 1, and I actually have the Rams at number 2. Then I have the Seahawks and then the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I do think that division is super tight though at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these teams fall off.
Yeah. This might also be a division where like the person who wins it has like 10, they're like 10-7, but only because the division's gonna beat itself up because
Right.
everybody's so good. Like I wouldn't be surprised if like all the teams split their home and aways. Like
Ooh, that'd be crazy, right?
they're all that good. Like the Cardinals with um I can never remember his name. Their quarterback,
Oh, Kyler Murray,
Kyler Murray and Deshaun Hopkins. Wait, Deshaun Hopkins? No, that's not right.
DeAndre
Hopkins.
Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Well, and they have AJ
Or
Green and JJ Watt
well,
just went there.
I don't really.
I mean, JJ
AJ
Watt's
Green is like 35, 36, and JJ Watt's about the same.
yeah, JJ Watt is more on the back
I would
half.
be I would be more
I
surprised if JJ Watt plays more than 7 games than if he has a good year.
oh,
Like,
ouch.
I mean, he hasn't been healthy in like 5 years.
Oh, bro, they're totally gonna win if Colt McCoy is on their team. They got it.
Oh god.
How,
I somebody so Colt McCoy is from like 5 minutes from where I live apparently.
oh, really?
And he went to the Browns. So is Baker Mayfield, by
Oh,
the way. Which I knew he was from Texas, but I didn't realize he was from like right here.
uh,
Uh his high school is like a 15-minute drive from where I live.
oh, damn.
But so yeah, people down here love Colt McCoy. Also, he was a Texas Longhorn. But
It's just
but
funny.
yeah, and I'm like, somebody mentioned him, and I was like, Colt McCoy is still in the NFL. Like he was terrible on the Browns. How does he still have a job?
The people are starting to get offended around you. Starting
They
to get the
were.
stink eye.
There's a lot of those. There's a ton of quarterbacks from within like a 30-minute radius of Austin.
It's not that surprising though. Like
I
Texas
mean,
is one of the
yeah.
states where they take football very
Oh
serious
yeah, for
from
sure.
a very young age.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I totally get. I'm not surprised by it, but I'm surprised that it's so concentrated for quarterbacks around here.
I guess that's fair.
I think Johnny Manziel was from right around here too, and there's another quarterback in the NFL currently from Austin, but
See, being
it
from
might be Derek
California,
Carr actually.
there's a lot of people that play baseball. So we get a lot of people
Yeah,
around me that get drafted for baseball.
yeah,
But football isn't really like a huge thing here. Baseball is more the thing here. So
yeah, yep, yeah. It makes sense. I'm not surprised by it, but it just kind of
it's kind of funny
it
up
was kind of
close.
one of those things where I was like, oh yeah, I guess that does make sense that all these guys are from here. Also, Texas is a massive state, so when it's like, you know,
You
people
know.
are like, oh yeah, he's from Texas, and I'm like, okay, and then they're like, no, he's from like right here in Texas. I'm like, oh okay,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Okay,
I
so
honestly
go ahead.
that the NFC West, I had the 49ers at first winning, and then I put the Seahawks, then I was like maybe the Rams, and then I ended up with the Rams in last, and I'm like, this whole division, like anybody could win it, and I wouldn't be that
Okay,
surprised by
so
it.
I have the Niners first, but I think if the Niners just completely collapse, it wouldn't surprise me if the Seahawks pass the Rams, but I still would put Rams probably number 1 then
Yeah.
Seahawks and then Cardinals and then the Niners.
Here's I actually thought about this. Here's the reason I have the 49ers second is I think Garoppolo gets hurt, and I think Trey Lance comes in and does good, but he's not ready yet.
See, I so I have this theory, and it is complete tinfoil hat theory, but this feels very much a lot like what happened with Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, Kaepernick. Yeah,
If Jimmy Garoppolo gets hurt, Trey Lance is obviously next man up there.
yeah. Oh,
But
and
I think
Garoppolo's never getting his job back.
But I think if he plays, I think it's going to be like what happened with Kaepernick. I think he's going to play well, and I think he's going to do something. I mean, I don't think he's ready enough to get like win a Super Bowl, but I think he's ready enough to get them to like maybe a championship game. Not right now, but I mean in this scenario where say he goes down like week 6 or week 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I think at that point he's ready to do something special, but I also know that running quarterbacks and people that are like him always have a good initial impression until people can figure out what they do.
Right. The only reason, like, I still have them second, but like he has a ton of talent, but he also hasn't played football in like a year and a half. So
yeah, he is pretty raw from what I was seeing. He got
and
4
he's
plays.
Like 19.
No.
Or 20.
I think he's 20.
He's like
20,
one of the youngest quarterbacks in the history to get drafted.
I'll look it up real quick.
Okay. But yeah, I just it's funny. Like I don't see him as ready enough to.
He's 21.
Okay. I think he was 20 when he got drafted then.
That's possible.
Yeah.
No, like I said, I think he does something special, like what Kaepernick did, and I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo ever sees the field again.
No, I wouldn't. If that happens, Garoppolo is traded in the offseason.
Well, he wouldn't be. His contract's up at the end of the year.
Oh, okay. Well, Garoppolo is just gone.
That's why there was a lot of talks about why the Niners, since they moved up to get Trey Lance, why they wouldn't just trade him with 1 year left on his deal.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that trading him was a good idea.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they didn't.
No, I think Trey Lance, like, in the perfect scenario, I think Trey Lance sits the entire season.
Yeah, I don't want him playing at all.
Yeah.
I don't even want him in, like, for a handful of plays, which is at least what they're going to do with him.
Yeah, that's like, what they did week 1.
Yeah, he got 4 plays. He threw 1 touchdown, and I think he threw for 5 yards. Like, that was it.
I'll say this. It was interesting to see, though, because, like, Justin Fields did it, too. Like, maybe it helps him see the actual speed of the game for a few plays every week, and
maybe
helps with that learning curve. I really don't know, but that seems like the way that those two coaches at least are looking at it.
I don't know. I mean, if you have a talent that maybe they just didn't want him not playing more, like they didn't want him sitting longer.
Right.
Maybe that factors in for at least the Niners, but I always hate when they like these young quarterbacks are just, "Hey, you're starting now." Like,
yeah,
we're going to tell you how shitty you are if you suck even though you're 22 years old.
Right. That's like crap, what's his name? He got drafted by the Cardinals right before I already forgot his name again.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah. I don't know what it is because I love watching Kyler Murray play, but I can never remember his name. Whatever. The guy who got drafted right before him, like the year before him, Josh Rosen.
Oh yeah.
Like he got like a year there, and then they drafted Kyler Murray, and then just were like, "See you later, go to Miami,"
which to me doesn't make sense.
You can't know if this kid's gonna be good or not after a year when you have a bad team, and like I don't know,
and not even an established coaching staff at that point.
Yeah.
Like I get it if like
that was a really weird.
It's like this Mac Jones for the Patriots. Now if he comes in and is total dog do, Like, it's going to look pretty bad on him because, like, the culture and what they want to do is established.
Yeah,
It's been established. Like, you need to fit in the system.
right.
And if,
Especially in New England.
yeah, and if he doesn't fit, then that looks worse on him than it does anything else as a player. But
Yeah,
like if you're going to a team that doesn't have that established, you can't tell if it's the player or if it's just the system or
yeah,
like what it is.
right. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. But
All
yeah,
right,
no, I totally agree. Trey Lance should ideally sit the entire year.
that's what I want. It's not going to happen, but
No, it's not. Well, shouldn't say that. If Garoppolo stays healthy and the Niners are winning, he'll sit.
he'll still get a couple plays a game.
Oh yeah, okay, but I'm talking about starting
Oh yeah, yeah.
and like being the quarterback.
And honestly, even if the Niners don't win a Super Bowl, if they can get to like and win a playoff game with Garoppolo at the helm, even if they lose in like the championship round, whatever. If Trey Lance can sit back and like see how all that works,
Yeah,
like that's to me that's all the experience I need to trust that like going into next year that maybe some of that raw potential with some of the knowledge of the previous season and what it takes to get into the playoffs and throw all that together in a pot and hopefully that's the right
right.
juice to get him going on the right foot. And honestly, I think whoever gets Garoppolo after he leaves the Niners is going to get a good quarterback.
Yeah, I mean Garoppolo has one of the highest like winning percentages as a quarterback in the last like 3 years.
Yeah. He's not flashy, but he
No,
somehow wins you
he's.
games.
I mean, your analogy was really good because he is basically Alex Smith.
Yeah.
He's a game manager who doesn't turn the ball over. He can throw for a bunch of yards if he needs to. But yeah, he's never going to be like running around in the backfield or, you know, anything super exciting. He's just going to do his job and go home.
Yeah. And your chances are you're going to win because he's not going to make some crazy mistake.
Right. Which isn't a bad thing. It
But
would be really funny. There was talks about it before the year, but to see him go back to New England,
I'm surprised that that didn't happen, to be completely honest.
I don't think the 49ers wanted any part of that trade. I think they wanted him.
No. The Niners, I don't think wanted to lose him, period.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like, I
That's what
mean,
I
I'm
mean.
sure if there was a deal that was sweet enough, they would have pulled the trigger. But
Oh, yeah.
ultimately, I don't think they wanted him to go anywhere.
No. That wouldn't
I
make
think
any
the front
sense.
office and the coaching staff, I think they like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
It's the fans that jump all over him because he hasn't been healthy.
That's what I was gonna say. The hate for Jimmy Garoppolo has nothing to do with his play on the field. It's a lot to do with like his injuries and
Not
stuff
being
like
on
that.
the field.
Right.
But it's true.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fair criticism. It's just it sucks for him because it's not really anything he can control
Well, that's why I
necessarily.
always hate criticizing players for being injured, but like it has to take like
Right.
it has to play a factor at some
I
point. But even though
I
you
would
may hate
say
doing it,
like I wouldn't really ever criticize someone for being injured, but it
that's fair.
is a like if you're trying to decide if he's your guy going forward, like that is a key part of that.
That's true.
Like not you don't necessarily be like, like this asshole can't even stay healthy, he sucks. And it's like, well, it's not like he's choosing to get hurt.
Yeah.
Like
Well, and that's what
but
I hate when you hear like fans talk. It's
yeah,
like you can't get
right,
mad at him. Like yeah, you can maybe devalue him a little bit compared to maybe
right,
somebody else, but
right.
it's
Right. As
not.
a front office guy looking at a guy and being like, well, yeah, if he can't stay healthy, like can't help the team.
Yeah, what are we gonna do? It's not
But
personal. It's just
to like call him out for like like he's choosing to get hurt. It's like that's
but
so
people do
dumb.
it all the time.
Oh, I know. I
All
know.
the
I'm
time.
well aware. That's every sport with any good player. People get mad when they get hurt.
All right, now the big question: Super Bowl prop bet.
Okay.
Who you got?
I did not look at this part
I
at
didn't.
all.
I didn't either. We're just gonna. Who do you think? Just off the top of your head.
Okay.
Are you gonna go interesting? Are you gonna go rematch? Are you gonna?
I'm. Fuck. I have to do it. Browns versus Buccaneers.
Oh, you think the Browns beat the Chiefs? Like the one team they just
Dude,
can't beat?
first off, they lost by 4 points last week.
Ah,
And second of all, we had them in the um, AFC championship game, or no, divisional round.
Do I need to send
Like
you
we
that
were
they
gonna,
had us? We had them in the first half of game again.
that was, yeah, that was dumb. But no, like we should have beaten them in the AFC divisional round last year. And then there was some bullshit play. But no, like the Browns can hang with the Chiefs.
I don't
Like
disagree. I'm just giving you shit.
now with that said, I was talking to my one friend, and yeah, I don't think it was you. I think I was talking to one of my friends from home, but um, I was like, man, if you give Patrick Mahomes the ball and it's third down and 10 or less, I expect him to pick it up every single time. It's disgusting watching him play football.
It
Like
kind
it's
of is.
really, it's not fair, especially with the weapons he has. Like freaking Travis Kelsey's open every single play.
Yeah. Well, pretty much.
He's broken. Like if he was a video game, I'd be like, he needs to be nerfed because it's not fair right now.
So you got Browns, Tampa Bay. I've
Yeah, I was trying to pick someone from the NFC that wasn't Tampa Bay, and I'm like, nobody in the NFC East. I don't trust anybody in the NFC North. I don't think anyone in the NFC South can beat the Bucks. And then I'm like, the West maybe could get the 49ers or Seahawks.
I
Could
think
maybe
the
take them.
I think the Niners could take them, but I don't think they will take them.
Yeah.
I think that's a
Also,
possibility, but
I
I
just
don't
want to
think it'll
throw this
happen.
out there. With both our teams being good, how fucking cool would it be if we had a Browns Niners Super Bowl?
We I wish I should just go put money on. I should find a betting site and just put like $50 on it or something. Just
It's
because it's a possibility. Like it
yeah,
actually legitimately is.
right.
Because the Niners, like I said, if as long as they can stay healthy, they are one of the best teams in the NFC West, let alone all of football, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Their
If I was
secondary is a little
actually
sketchy right now, but
if I was actually putting money down on like what I actually thought was gonna happen, like most likely to happen, I would probably pick for a rematch, honestly.
that's what
Buccaneers versus Chiefs.
that's what I think is going to happen.
I
But
don't
I
want it to
but yeah,
happen.
but I really hope it doesn't.
Yeah.
Um
Otherwise, it's turning into the NBA where you had Cavs versus Warriors for like 6 straight years, and it's like I'm a fan of one of these teams, and I don't even give a shit anymore. Like,
well,
it's just boring.
see, and I'm kind of torn because I want to see Tom Brady just keep winning championships. I want it.
I
I
want
want it.
him to have a career-ending knee injury.
Oh, that hurts. I want to just see him. Brady, I love you. I have no reason to. I just think it's funny that you just keep winning. You just keep winning. Have you seen his splits for his first like 150 games and his second 150 games?
No.
It's literally identical, except for I think he's one loss more on his second 150 games of his career for his win loss record. It's
That's
insane. Literally
that's
almost
crazy.
identical. This man just doesn't know how to lose, and you gotta love it. I don't know. I just respect the winning. But
Yeah.
if he wins, then that means my Niners ain't getting there. And I really think that if the Niners play well and stay healthy, I think they've got a shot to get there this year, and I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
I'd
It
love to
would
see a
be
Browns
it
Niners
would be
like
awesome.
like I'm just saying
Oh,
like
that'd
that
be
would
so
actually be
cool.
sick, but I don't know if that's realistically gonna happen.
It's not unrealistic, but it's also not the most probable.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. All right. One more. Who would be your sleeper pick to make the Super Bowl? Can't be either of the team, any of the teams we've talked about is like probable.
Sleeper. Ooh, hold on, let me. Ooh, that's tough.
I have one, but I don't. I want you to do yours
I'm gonna
first.
say Saints.
That was my one.
Oh damn it! I was gonna say I think the Saints maybe they have some crazy year and they topple the Bucks somehow.
I mean, they still have a really good team. Like you basically just lost Drew Brees, which is a huge loss,
But you have Jameis Winston who
right? Who has the potential to
potentially
be really good.
could be almost as good as Breeze, except for he's got a better arm. I mean,
Yeah,
his decision making isn't as good, but
no,
um,
but yeah,
ah,
definitely a better arm. But yeah, decision making is big. But they have a really talented team.
so
So
Saints would be my sleeper pick. So I guess if we're both gonna select, let me see, somebody else, I'll go Packers. I think maybe the Packers figure it out,
okay.
and Aaron Rodgers has another MVP season after everyone shit on him week one.
If I were to pick one other one, I'll go with an AFC since we did all NFC for those.
It's because the
I'll
NFC is kind
go.
of stacked.
I mean, yeah, I'll go Chargers
Okay.
with Justin Herbert getting in the wild card because they're not going to beat the Chiefs. But getting in on the wild card, they'll know the Chiefs really well to play them in the playoffs because they're in the same division. So I don't. If I were to pick an AFC like sleeper team, that would probably be it. But
If I was gonna pick AFC sleeper team, I'm going with the Titans.
okay,
I had them
yeah, I was
winning their
trying to think of a
division,
team.
so I
Okay,
could see them maybe getting lucky and
yeah,
running over the Chiefs, literally running over the
yeah.
Chiefs, because that's all they
I
do.
was trying to look at it like I feel like the Bills aren't a sleeper team. Like people are picking them to win. The Ravens and Browns, I feel like people are kind of looking at as a toss up to win the AFC North.
Yeah, that's probably pretty
So I'm
fair.
like, yeah, but all right.
I'm trying to think of if there's anything else that would be fun to get opinions on now before the season gets too far in. Uh,
Worst team in the NFL this year.
oh, see, that's tough because I don't know all the teams well enough for the worst. But I mean, if you go by the numbers, it would be the Giants. Like the Giants are the only team that's 0-2. Granted, not
I'm gonna
everybody's played two yet.
go. I'm gonna say the Lions. I feel like
Ooh.
the Lions just don't have anybody. Like I can't name you a single Lions player besides Jared Goff.
I mean,
Like,
they almost beat. They almost won the game. The Niners almost choked away the other
well,
day,
okay, but
scaring the living shit out of me. What the fuck was going
yeah.
on? Killing me. Let's see who else is on there. I got
I would
Jamal.
put the Jets on there. Oh wait,
Well,
are you looking at the Lions?
yeah, I'm looking at the Lions. Yeah, no, there's really not. I mean, Jamal Williams, running back. That's about
Yeah,
that. Like off the top, like that are like household names or even bigger names. Like that's about
DeAndre Swift's a decent running back. I've never heard of any of their three receivers.
it.
Never heard of their tight end. Oh, Darren Fells, I've heard of. He used to play somewhere else.
That's so funny.
He used to play with Arizona, and then he was really good when he was with Houston.
Uh,
He was like their number one tight end with Deshaun Watson. But yeah, no, I can't really name anybody.
yeah. I mean,
Jamie Collins at linebacker, but that's only because he was a Brown. He's not very good.
Well, I mean, he was a Brown, so what can you
He
expect?
was right. He was a Brown before we were the current Browns. When we were the Browns, everyone thinks so.
Uh,
But yeah,
I'm trying to think. Nothing. MVP. Who do you think has best quarterback this year?
I
We'll say.
like how that's
I'm not going to go
the
MVP. No,
MVP.
I'm not going to go MVP. I'm
No,
just going to go
that
best quarterback because
let's be honest, though, that is the MVP.
it's most likely. But I mean, I feel like Derrick Henry should have won it a few times just because Derrick Henry's a
Yeah.
fucking beast. But you're right. It is basically a
Um,
quarterback. But best quarterback this year.
man, that's I want to pick like somebody new. All right, here's a sleeper one for you, Jameis Winston.
Okay. Okay. I think Tom Brady's going to have a career year. That's who I'm picking. Tom Brady, best
Yeah.
year. Actually, no. I mean, like I think he's gonna have a good year, and I think he might even have one of his better years. But I don't think it's gonna be that. I'm actually gonna go with your boy Baker. I think he's gonna have statistically an insane year by the end of the year because I think once he gets Beckham Jr. back and he's got all of his weapons and everything's clicking, I think he's gonna kind of go ham.
The only reason, like as a Browns fan, I wouldn't agree with that is because we have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, who are gonna run the ball like 60% of our plays. So like
Okay,
Baker might have a really good like QBR, but his like
I mean, I guess that's
touchdowns and
fair.
passing yards are not going to be insane.
I guess that's fair.
He'll probably have a game or two where he like goes off for like 400 yards, but I he's not going to be like breaking records or anything. I mean, the obvious choice here is Patrick Mahomes because
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is probably the best quarterback in football right now.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. I don't know if I'd say you're right, but you're probably not wrong.
Those you can't say that. those are opposites. You have to. It's one or the other.
I'm sticking by what I said. In other words, I don't know
Josh
if I agree with you, but sure.
Josh Allen's another possibility there for the Bills. He went he went insane last year.
Um, it actually wouldn't surprise me to see Matt Stafford have a statistically kind of crazy year.
Yeah,
Because Matt Stafford has always had actually pretty fucking good years
yeah,
statistically.
because they're always behind
And
in
they're always
Detroit.
throwing the ball.
Right.
But so statistically, he's always when he's healthy, he's always had pretty good years. So Matt Stafford might be maybe my other pick for good statistical year.
That's fair. Yeah.
I can't wait to get into football some more. Although the next couple of weeks, I think in baseball are going to be fucking nuts.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of fun like division races and wild card races coming down the stretch.
Which we'll fully get into.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Anything
we
else?
wanted to get
Go ahead.
well, I just wanted we wanted to get our predictions for the NFL season in before it got to like a quarter of the way through the year, and we were like, well, this isn't really fair because like you can already see who's who.
We should have done this like 2 weeks ago, but we didn't think
Yeah,
about that early enough.
no,
Uh,
no. We even did the one week where we just did news and like didn't even have a topic. It would have been perfect,
perfect.
but whatever. We got it in a weekend.
Yeah, weekend's not
Only
bad because I mean,
only two teams have played two games.
yeah,
So.
it's not that big of a deal. I don't think the first week is going to tell you a ton about the season
No.
anyway.
No, because it's pretty clear. Like Green Bay's not going to be that, and like
I mean, like I said, I don't know. Maybe he found that cliff and just decided to right off the.
maybe,
I don't know. I don't think so, but it's a possibility.
yeah, but yeah. like, yeah, it's impossible to like. Everybody does it because it's fun to talk about, but you can't get too high or low off of one game.
No, I think we'll know more by what week like 3, where you can like kind
Yeah,
of judge where teams are as maybe more of a whole.
yeah, I agree with that. 3 or 4. Yeah,
Which
you're
will
about a quarter of the way through the season.
which will be perfect because right around the time the baseball ends, football will be about a third of the way through, and we'll be able to jump in and
Oh
kind of
yeah,
see where we're at. We will do the occasional episode where we talk football, though. I think from here on out.
yeah,
'Cause-
yeah. I mean, big football fans, and your team has pretty much wrapped up the best record, or at least the playoffs. My team's out of everything, so like I don't care about baseball anymore.
well, see, I mean, I still care about baseball,
I do too.
but
I'm kidding, but
especially because of where the Giants are at right now in that standing.
yeah,
Because being a game up, like every game still counts.
yeah. I mean, I always care about baseball. I'm just kidding, but um,
He's not kidding, folks.
yeah,
Fairweather
like my
fans, we can see it.
yeah,
We can see it.
yes, clearly wearing all of my Indians gear. I am a fair weather fan.
Don't let the gear distract you. He's showing his true colors.
I had to wear it because like in like 2 weeks they're not going to be the Indians anymore.
Uh, do you have money put aside for all your new Guardians gear?
No, not yet. I'll just probably
Buy it as
one paycheck. I'll just like go grab a jersey and a hat or something.
uh,
Or I've been designing my own Guardians logos, so maybe I'll just like make some shirts and just buy them myself and then take them off before.
that'd actually be kind of cool.
I have some fairly cool ones, but
You can get jerseys custom made too. But we'll
yeah.
talk about that in a minute. Anything you
Yeah.
want to throw on for football before we end up for the night?
No, I think we covered it. I'm just excited. Football's here. No more preseason. None of that.
I know.
Just ready to see some actual games.
Oh, yes. Football is here. And we will be talking about more about football, here and there throughout. Even when we're just focusing on baseball, we might still throw a thing out there if something cool happened with football.
Yeah.
But thanks everyone for listening or watching. If you're watching us live, or if you're listening to us on podcast services, check us out. Bases and Brews at any podcast service except for Apple at the moment. If you want to come and check us out while we record this live, we do it every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/bases and brews. And we will catch you guys next week for another episode of Bases and Brews. Hope to see you guys here.
Later.